The Cayin N6 Master Audio Digital Audio Player. Let's talk about it. This product was purchased with a small discount. All thoughts and opinions are my own. Now, I am predominantly a IEM reviewer, and I do not claim to master a DAP. This is only my second DAP that I have owned. My focus, for those that don't know or are new to the channel, is mainly on IEMs. And so that's kind of what my channel is for wired IEMs. And, you know, I do have, and so this is not a review of someone who's mastered and owned dozens and dozens of DAPs, but more of like a basic, simple review of someone who might want a DAP, who might be interested in one. So this is where that review is coming from. My journey for the perfect DAP companion comes from practical needs rather than pure audiophile curiosity. It's not driven from a sound-based sort of a thing, but I do find myself at times when I'm not on my computer, or at certain times of the day, or at certain meets, or going places where I don't want to have a laptop and listen out of a laptop. I want to have a DAP. I like being able to have my music separate from my phone, as I feel like sometimes it can get messed around with different things like Discord notifications or other things. So that's kind of my ideal thoughts with this. There's good power delivery on this device. It has 700 milliwatts at 32 ohms, and that really stands as a testament to its amazing engineering. The power output proves to be easy for me to drive anything that I need, whether it be IEMs, full-size headphones, or anything else. It packs a lot of power under the hood. I even bought the Sierra Erebus Open, and I really like that headphone. It's an expensive headphone, and it's very hard to drive. And this DAP, it powers it extremely well, and I don't have any problems with it powering anything that I own, be it any of the headphones that I have or anything else. And so if it can power my most demanding headphone with ease, with plenty of room, it got it to about 60 where it started to become too much for me. And so it feels like it's a very powerful device without any massive issues. So from my opinion, there weren't any massive problems or concerns with what it is. It's easy to power stuff, and it is a sufficient amount of power. The included case is really premium feeling. I feel like they put a lot of thought and feeling into that case. There's great attention to detail. The case feels nice. There is a slightly distinct metallic grate on the rear panel, and I do not like my fingers touching it. It feels like almost like they might get hurt, or something might get clipped. Maybe a hangnail would get snagged on that. I do like cases would be a little bit less texture, but that is a texture problem and a me problem. But I would like to maybe have an option where that is not a problem. I have a Hibby R4, and that's my only other DAP that I can compare it to. The case on the Hibby R4 was not sufficient. And when I was trying to attach my cables to that case, I was not able to get that case well situated. And I had to actually remove the case and make a hole in the case just to be able to fit some of my IEMs on my DAP. That's really not an ideal thing. The case should be designed so almost every single IEM or headphone or cable that terminates in a 4.4 can fit with your DAP and the case. So it is nice that the case is not only included, but is sufficient and fits for what I need. The physical non-controls that are not volume are really nice. There's a subtle recession that prevents any mishaps or accidental touching things. It feels very tactile. It feels very nice when you touch the side of the DAP. I really like the feeling of the buttons, and they did a really good job with the overall design factor to this. As far as audio quality goes, I think this is kind of interesting. The difference between a modern DAP and and even some phones can be very minor depending on what you have. I think sometimes it's easy to chase dragons. I do have some premium dongles like the MUB1, the DC Elite, and some other dongles which I feel are very nice. So it may not justify the full cost on its own with other devices out there, but from a build quality and standpoint, it is really nice. From an objective standpoint, the N6 III demonstrates excellent measurements, offering transparency, technical capability, and it's really a very nice device. It does have interchangeable switchboards. This is a big thing for some people if you want to switch this out and maybe try a different DAP chip, or try something new. You might find something that's a little bit better of a new device. And I think that this not only adds a little bit of ability to play with your device, but it also adds longevity, which I think is a very nice thing to have. Not always is it about having a device that works, but maybe a new DAP chip will come out and you can change it out. Also, if yours breaks or has issues, you can easily swap it out and get a new one without a lot of huge issues. This ability to service and not only play with your DAP, I think adds a great deal of value, a great deal of fun, and I think this is a great feature for this DAP, and I think this will make this DAP last much longer. There are other chipsets, and there is a brand new chipset that has come out and they've released their first card. I do not have that, and that did not come with this unit that I purchased. I believe that sometimes we look for certain aspects of audio fidelity in something like a DAP, and the differences between high-end DAC chips it really comes to the point where it becomes like almost a psychological effect with diminishing returns. There are improvements, I think, on soundstage and timbre between chips, but I do feel it's very minor, and it's just something that I do not recommend to chase, and it's extremely subtle between the differences in everything. There's differences in micro detail and instrument separation. You might hear from one to the other, but honestly, sometimes it's hard because your memory of music is very faint. But if it brings you joy and it's something that you like switching out, I think that's a good thing. As far as battery life goes, this is not a device that I used overnight on days on past. I have learned that you do need to be very careful about charging this and not just leaving it be idle. I left it idle for 2 days thinking that it was off. It was not off, but it was just idle and the battery did drain. So I would recommend either charging it every day before you use it, or to be very careful about turning it off. That was a little bit of a user error on my point, but I did find that the battery life for this was sufficient when I maintained it as needed. The software experience for me and setting up with this proved to be a little bit tedious. There are swipe controls that you can swipe down from the upper right of the screen. When you do that, you may decide what this device is going to do, and then you can transfer files or use this as a different kind of device like a USB-C DAP. If we look at other devices, if we look at this versus my MUB1, Qlos MUB1, a $500 Bluetooth dongle DAC, the MUB1 has more power, but it is tied to my phone. So there are some good things and some bad things about both of them. The Cayin provides the advantage of a phone independent operation, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Its dedicated music experience is really quite nice, and it's nice not have to worry about having to go from Bluetooth or from a cord to from your phone straight to your device, and that gives you a little bit more leeway on things. I think this is a positive thing to have when you are on the go, and I do feel that the added benefits the of the Cayin 6 III are very nice. Let's talk it versus the Hibby R4. Now the Hibby R4 is in a different category. Sonically, is there a big difference? It's hard to say what differences are there. I want to say there is a major difference to the Cayin N6 III, but I don't necessarily hear it. I do find it better in build quality. I do find it that its software is a little bit more robust. I like it when I open up the Cayin N6 and I get to see the Cayin logo, and it's beautiful, and I like the startup procedure a little bit more. I feel like more time has been spent on the software of the Cayin N6, and I do believe it is beautiful. Part of the reason I decided to want to get this is because my Hibby R4 did have software problems at a meet, and that became a severe issue. I was solely dependent upon my R4, and when it failed me, I did not have a second source or a second DAP to rely upon. And this is part of the reason that I chose to get this. Again, I do find this an improvement in build quality, hand feel. The knobs are better. The button placement is better. It overall looks nicer. But is it sonically much, much better? I don't think so. But it is nicer 100% other ways that I can tangibly see. But as far as sonically goes, I do feel they are very similar, and there's not much of a significant difference between them. Final reflections. The Cayin N6 III represents more than just another digital audio player. It's a luxury item that delivers both practical utility and emotional, beautiful satisfaction. While its sonic performance alone may not justify the premium price tag, the complete package of build quality, case, features, reliability creates a compelling proposition for serious music enthusiasts. It represents something that is amazing, almost like a fine timepiece or luxury automobile. While I may not embark on the endless quest for the ultimate DAP and try every single DAP that it's out there, the Cayin N6 III satisfies my requirement for a premium, capable device that enhances my audio journey. It's a testament to the fact that in this hobby, the joy often lies not in just the absolute performance of the metrics, but in the total experience of owning and using a thoroughly crafted piece of audio equipment. This has been my short video review of the Cayin N6 III. This is my first DAP review. I didn't even review my Hibby R4, but I've talked about it a little bit on channel. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys to come on channel again. Bye-bye. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris, or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here. Go.
Go!
Go.
Go on with you!